Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Brian, and today I'm talking alone. This is season 11, episode 8, The Martin Chronicles. All right, so we're on day 30 here, and spoiler alert here, no one is eliminated. So, interesting, first time of the season, and kind of thought it was it was an okay episode. I just didn't think that not having like the ending where you're gonna kind of like move it between like who's gonna get tapped here and things like that. Kind of just almost seems like a filler episode to me. But I'm gonna start with Sarah because Sarah we didn't see a ton of today. We had like a quick it was snow it did snow, so we saw a quick reaction from every single person left. There's four people remaining. She's hungry, and the what we saw of her, she's in her tent and she's laying, and she's not thrilled about winter being here and snow coming, and I think just dealing with the things that you would expect after this point of you're stranded and alone, and puts her definitely in the worry zone for me for next week because I'm gonna say they're not gonna go 2 weeks without eliminating somebody. They maybe eliminate two. I mean, they usually I think it's like 10, 12 episodes. I think it might be 10, 9, 10. Maybe we have a double. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, pretty brief from Sarah. But she's on my watch list. Next is William. So William has lost 40 pounds since drop, and we kind of closed the episode last week with the Pine Martin getting into his like food cache where it's like floating out like on a stick and like hanging. He does see it. The one video we saw from last week was just like looks like a still like he was filming the area, but he actually sees it with his own eyes. He goes after the Pine Martin, tries to get it away. I think he said it scratched at him. I'm not 100% sure if he actually that's true or he just was like in it. He could have been bushes. I'm not 100% sure. He did name this Pine Martin Sassy, and they're getting on a pretty close relationship here because he's catching all the food and Sassy's trying to eat it. He does actually get a beaver with a snare trap near the water, and he is happy about it, but he's a little disappointed at the same time because he was kind of hoping for like a 30 to 40 pounder beaver, but I think he got like a 10 to 15 pounder, so it's a little beaver, but hey, you got one, so maybe that means that more will come, so we will see. So I don't know. I think William probably is in a good spot. I know he's lost a lot of weight, but I don't know. I don't. He hasn't really given me any reason to worry. I thought the Pine Martin from last week, you'd be like, oh shit, he's gonna lose all his food, but he stopped it, so good for him. Timber, he gets a fish on his line. Then he gets a big 40-inch pike, and he has these on stringer lines. And later in the episode, he does have an issue with the stringer line where he goes to check it where the 40-incher is, and it's gone. And he's looking for it. He goes down the river. He thinks another one that he has also is gone, but he does pull it out, and it's still there. Um, he does find it eventually, and it's down the river. The fish is still on the line, so good for him. Uh, he while he's cooking, I think he was he cooking? He might have been cooking the or checking or cooking that second. I think the first fish, second fish, whatever. He was doing something where he was cooking his food. He went to go check this another fish or a line, and he has these gray jays who are eating his food. And he just kind of leaves it there, and the gray jay has like he like kind of the same thing that's going on with William, where he leaves the camera up and flies down, starts eating his food. He notices it, yells at it. Um, the big thing for him though is he is building another food cache. He is kind of having issues where he pulls out a piece of fish and you can see like little bite marks on it. He thinks that mice have gotten into it. So he kind of builds a new one. He has like the hide or something of the moose where he's like the mice can bite that, but I don't think they'll penetrate it. And then he also uses the fur, like so he builds like almost like a chest in between two trees, lays the fur down, puts the food on, covers it up. He's gonna put like a big branch or tree limb in there, and it's gonna go in. It's gonna be hard. He thinks that bears or wolves cannot get in. So we'll have to see how that turns out. He tries to move for a shelter. He tries to move the fire indoors, and he is dealing with a lot of smoke, so he's gonna have to figure that out. So he's eventually gonna need to do that if it is cold. I think, but we'll see how it goes. That's probably going to be his plot point next week. And finally, we have Dub, and Dub had a cool moment where he is like really up close and personal with an owl. It's on like a solo like mini tree branch in like the middle of a field, and he's trying to talk to the owl, sees it. I thought that was pretty cool. My kids like owls, so Might have to show him that clip. He sees a moose crossing on the other side of the river, and he thinks he could take the shot, but he was worried that it might not be a good one where it's gonna like maybe take it out immediately. You have to track it, build a raft or a boat, bring it over. And it's just he's like talking it out. He's like, I don't know if this is gonna be worth it. He does fall into the water at one point in the episode, just trying to set up a snare trap, and he gets like pretty soaked. And I think he said like his boots and his pants were pretty wet, and he like he's like worried about hypothermia. He like falls a couple times. He's like he doesn't know where he is. He's lost. I thought this was gonna be the end of him, honestly, because he it took him like an hour to get home and kept flashing up on the bottom left the time. And he it was definitely worrisome because like they said like a thing like, oh, if he calls in, it's 45 minutes away. They can get there in 45 minutes. But I mean, if he's in the middle of nowhere, they know where his shelter is. They don't know exactly where he was. So that would have been really interesting to see um how that goes, because that could have been pretty bad. Yeah, that could have been really bad. So he also gets a fish, and it's he thinks I think it he thought it was a pike, but it's an in Kuno. Um, and while he's cleaning that fish, he gets another fish. So he's having some success um finding some more food, and we'll have to see how it goes if like the because we are it is starting to get cold, like snow has hit. So have to see how that translates to people like being able to sustain and maybe still find food that they've been relying on. So yeah, I thought it was a fine episode. It just to me like no one going home. It's definitely weird to not see that. But yeah, I thought the moose. I mean, I thought Dub's seen Moose twice now, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see like if he gets one because now we have two people getting Moose. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be back next week for episode 9. This week we should have the Bachelorette. We did Bachelorette last week, but it still hasn't come out yet. But it might not come out at all, so we'll have to see about that. Um, we have Love Is Blind Mexico, Love Is Blind UK, Claim to Fame, 90 Day Fiance the other way. I'll do a short for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Wednesday morning, and I think that's it. I don't think there's any new shows this week. I think that's the following week. So yeah, we'll have like pretty normal schedule this week, so we should have everything out. So hopefully. But thank you guys all for watching. I will talk to you in the next video. See you.